I turned around, but it was too late. My fingers were already numb and I couldn't feel my cheeks.
Hello, I'm Pieta. It's winter. For some people that equals to a little cooler summer, but for me it's 6 months of pain. I live in Lapland, Finland, right inside the Arctic Circle. Most people think life here is just cold, Santa Claus and Northern Lights. And well, yeah, we do have an entire park dedicated to Father Christmas himself. The Northern Lights aren't as common as you might think. It all depends on the weather really, but if you happen to be lucky enough to see them, they truly are a magical sight. We also have a lot of reindeer and other neat Arctic animals. No polar bears though. As you can imagine, it gets quite cold up here. The winter lasts for half the year and you'd think that's plenty of time to do things like go sledding, skiing, ice skating or snowshoeing. But that's not really the case. For one, each day we just get a couple hours of sunlight. That's why I'm so pale.
So there isn't really much time to do a lot. When I go to school at 8 am, it's dark, and when I leave at 3 pm, it's dark again. Second, people who've never seen snow don't really seem to understand that there are many different types of it depending on the season and temperature. You can only build snowmen when it's 0 or above. Otherwise the snow is too powdery, and in March and April the snow gets an icy cover and you can walk on it. It's really fun. It's just less fun when you fall or sink in the snow and your shoes get filled or they get stuck. Snow is beautiful to look at, but it's absolute misery if it gets inside your clothes. And with snow comes the cold, of course. The average winter temperature here is around minus 30 degrees Celsius. Hair freezing is not uncommon here, but sometimes even my eyelashes freeze. That's when I know it's time to put on a jacket. The coldest weather I've experienced was minus 44 degrees, but the coldest I've ever felt was sometime around March in 2020. I was cross-country skiing in the woods about a mile from home when I started to feel a bit too chilly. I wasn't wearing a beanie, only headphones since I like listening to music when I exercise. I turned around, but it was too late. My fingers were already numb and I couldn't feel my cheeks. I skied a bit but fell down and felt frostbite creeping up on me.
I could see my guardian angel coming down for me.
But then she froze and died because it was so damn cold. My fingers were so numb and hurting I could hardly hold the skiing sticks, but somehow I got up and after a while I made it home at last. It wasn't even that cold, but I'd been skiing for so long I felt like an icicle at that point. One thing you gotta remember though is that the process of melting hurts way more than freezing. Luckily I didn't get hurt more than that and I still enjoy winter and its activities. It would be nicer if it didn't last so long though. Winter starts in October and ends in April. Spring is a constant cycle between, oh, summer is coming. Oh, no, it's not. Summers aren't that warm either, but at least unlike the colder seasons, sunlight is aplenty. We have the midnight sun, which is exactly what the name implies. The sun doesn't set at night. The only downside is that it makes sleeping hard and your sense of time might get lost. The worst thing about summer is the amount of mosquitoes though. It's impossible to survive a day without getting attacked by these mofos. Literally, my walls are covered in dried blood, not because I'm a psychopath, but because I spent my summer nights chasing mosquitoes and obliterating them on my walls. Yeah, I don't do well with insects, and it's the same with heat. Summers aren't usually hot, but I cannot physically go outside for long if it's over 20 degrees. I get sweaty and tired so easily, it's even worse than freezing to death. I imagine the entirety of Australia is laughing at me now, but at least you don't have to spend most of your time in a freezer. Nordic countries are constantly rated the happiest in the world, but if you saw us, you'd really doubt it. We aren't cheery or social, we're grumpy and quiet and we hate small talk. There's not that much people here anyway, so we couldn't be social even if we wanted to. At least our autumn is beautiful and the perfect temperature for me. No insects, no snow, it's my favorite season. It's just sad once the leaves fall and the days start getting darker. And often during Halloween the frost has fallen already. I imagine it must be very rough for those with seasonal depression. Half of the year is just cold and dark. That's why I recommend putting up pretty lights and candles around your room. That creates a nice atmosphere for sipping hot chocolate under blankets after a long day of sledding. Really, it's not that bad. When it's not dark and you can actually see something, the scenery is quite the winter wonderland. It has its ups and downs, but overall I'm really lucky to live in such a wonderful place. Well, I hope you have a nice new year wherever you are. I'll see you again. Bye!